Well, I will tell you all about Bernadette, Michelle. We went and took my Today Ticks and bought tickets to see Bernadette Peters in Hello Dolly. And it was fabulous. Bernadette is wonderful. Thing is this. The role of Hello Dolly is a broad. Dolly Levi is a broad. That's why Bette Midler is such a brilliant choice to play Dolly Levi.
Yes.
Bernadette is a lady.
So is Donna Murphy.
Donna Murphy. Everything about Bernadette's demeanor is she's a lady.
Mm-hmm.
So as she did a beautiful job, but you really do want to see a broad in
Too
there.
prim and proper a little bit?
A little bit. She's just great. She can't get any
Victor
better.
Garber was in there too.
Victor Garber was in there, and he looked great, and he did a great job. It's a fantastic show. The synchronicity of the dancers. There's when they're at the restaurant, the second act.
Yes.
They do this stuff, this sort of acrobats with plates and stuff that is amazing.
Yeah, phenomenal.
It's a great show. And I forgot that before the parade passes by. I forgot about that song. Yeah. And, of course, Hello, Dolly. And there's some other great songs
You wait
in
the
there.
whole show for that song, by the way.
Yes, you do. And they build up to it. Because the second act is going to be at that restaurant with that staircase. So in the first act, they're like saying, well, we're going to go to the restaurant to eat. Well, we're going to go to the restaurant. And she said, oh, I'll be at the restaurant. Yeah, and then the second act comes and you go, oh, this is where it happens. It's a fabulous show. But I was thinking, okay, who... If what other broad could you get to play that role? Well, you know who you want for that role. You want Cher for that role.
Yes.
She would tear it up, and her in those clothes, brilliant.
Yeah.
Also, you probably could do maybe Queen Latifah in the role.
That'd be fun.
She
could sing.
You'd also want Miss RuPaul in that role.
Oh my God,
That would be really.
Would you
really
want to
good.
do that?
It's
It's a big commitment.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. I was going to say I'm old.
But Bette Midler, no.
Yeah, but actually this month, Our Lady Bernadette turns 70.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this month. So
amazing.
You haven't seen the show yet.
No, but it's Bernadette. I don't need to.
Yeah.
How did she sound?
Great.
Listen, Patti LuPone singing "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina"
Oh, and
at the
she'd
Grammys.
be perfect in it too.
Oh, she'd be
amazing in it. Yeah.
Was all the life I needed.
Patti LuPone singing. Why was she angry with Andrew Lloyd Webber?
So the story goes, not story, I think it's fact. She's originated the role of Norma Desmond in Sunset Boulevard in London.
Right.
And then
when it came
they had
to
a falling out, he replaced her on Broadway with Glenn Close.
Wait, did she do it on Broadway?
No.
She never. So when it came to Broadway.
He replaced her with Glenn Close.
But didn't it come to L.A. first with Faye Dunaway? Wait a minute. Because he had a big feud falling out with Faye Dunaway because...
So does he have a feud with everybody?
I should probably.
Hell hath no fury like a Patti LuPone scorned. So...
you're reading the article on...
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
It said in 94, she was on the victim end of what she must have felt was one of Broadway's biggest scandals and certainly turned into one of theater's longest standing feuds. She was in London, starring in the West End production of Sunset Boulevard 24 years ago.
It originated.
Great success, nominated for an Olivier Award, and under the impression that she'd move with the production when it crossed the pond and made its debut on Broadway. Mm-hmm. And that is until word started spreading that he was considering other actresses for the lead role. Meryl Streep was reportedly offered the part. Barbra Streisand took her hand at recording 2 of the biggest songs. Meanwhile, Glenn Close was simultaneously playing the part in a Los Angeles production.
Oh, okay. So both shows were running at the same time.
Correct.
Okay.
So then it was in her London dressing room where she got word that the New York Gossip, that Liz Smith, the amazing
doyen of New York Gossip,
was about to break the news that indeed it would be Glenn Close who would get the prize role on Broadway.
But at the same time, Faye Dunaway thought she would move with the New York production, the LA production to New York. Do you remember this controversy?
No, Glenn Close was in it, though.
I don't know what the chronological order was, but, Faye Dunaway had a huge fight with him over this.
Over Sunset Boulevard as well.
Yes.
Unbelievable. Well, she took him to court
Who?
over breach of contract.
Who took who to court?
Patti LuPone.
Okay.
Won a reported $1 million settlement.
Really?
Uh-huh. She famously claimed to use the money to add a pool to her home, which she nicknamed the Andrew Lloyd Webber Memorial Pool. And she's been pissed at everyone involved ever since, and something she freely admitted over the years that she said that Sicilians don't let grudges go. So
she is not afraid to speak her mind.
No, and apparently
she
did it to Glenn Close. Like the grudge extended to Glenn Close as well, who went obviously on to win a Tony for the role, and Patti LuPone did lose out on the Olivier.
Wait, who was it? We haven't aired that broadcast yet. So who told us about being in a restaurant?
Yes.
Can we tell that hasn't
No,
come out yet?
We can't say who it is yet because it hasn't happened.
It hasn't
yet.
aired yet.
But we'll talk. I'll tell you.
There's
when
a
the mic
story
goes off. Yes.
of one of our guests who is in a restaurant.
You'll hear it because he's telling the story.
Yeah, with both
Glenn Close
and
Patti LuPone.
Oh my God!
So now we know.
Yeah.
Of what that is.
Right.
But Patti LuPone does not bury the hatchet easily.
Well, it's funny about having so much talent like that. You can get away with it because, very few people are going to pass you up. If you're the right for a role, they're not going to pass you up because you have a salty tongue or you have a point of view. If you're her.
Will shut it down the minute her jaw unhinges.
Yeah.
And a note falls out.
Yeah.
It's literally like magic just falling out of her face. She can't help it.
We recorded, Michelle just played me Patti LuPone on the Grammys, which is apparently the makeup of the feud. I mean,
correct. 24 years.
She didn't perform that song for 24 years because of the feud.
Oh, no, she performed the song.
Oh, she did?
She'd do it in her own shows. I have a lot of Patti Live albums. She's performed the song.
Oh, then I thought
she just hasn't been friends with him, hasn't talked to him.
So how do you know they've made up then?
Because she said that they buried the hatchet.
Oh, at the Grammys she said that?
Yeah, in interviews leading up to it, this was a tribute to Andrew Lloyd Webber. Mm-hmm. He's not going to put Patti LuPone up there if they're not talking, and she's not going to do it if they're not talking.
On
so
live television,
she
would do it on an album.
Yeah. And in her shows, she sings Evita because to her, I guess it's just Evita.
Oh, okay. So now we switch from Sunset Boulevard to Evita.
Oh, I don't know about Sunset Boulevard. I don't know if she performs Sunset. I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm thinking to her albums, I don't think so. Maybe she will now. But I was just thinking about Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Yeah, in general. Yeah. Wow.
Unbelievable. But that just made my whole friggin' life.
So when we were in New York, we saw John Lithgow in a one-man show. We saw this
how was that?
It was long.
Different. Yeah.
It was long. And it's a one-man show where he's talking about life.
Did he sing?
No.
Just talking.
He
self-indulgent?
Reads a little.
Yeah.
He reads stories from a family book that his family, who are theater people, read throughout their youth. Their parents would read them stories from this book. And a lot of the stories were adult stories, but so he takes in Act 1, he reads one story. In Act 2, he reads another. So when you're reading a story, it's very easy to fall asleep.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of shows out there. What?
We just, that was available, and I love John Lithgow.
Oh, he's amazing.
So I thought, let's go see this. But then we went and saw the Drew Droege. Wait a minute.
Uh-huh.
How do you say his name?
I'm not even going to try it.
Drew Droege.
Is that how you say it?
I think so. His show with Michael Urie directed it, called Bright Colors, Bold Patterns. Now, when we went, Drew Droege was not in it. He wrote it. He wasn't in it.
Michael Urie was in it.
No, Michael Urie directed it.
Oh.
This other guy, his name is, something Hiller. Is it Kevin Hiller? And I was like, oh my God, somebody else is. This guy was fabulous.
Was he?
It's at the Soho Playhouse. It was fabulous. This guy was amazing. Kevin Hiller, I think.
I love to hear that. When you go somewhere you don't expect it, and then it's like, oh my God. That's what happened with Something Rotten.
Yeah.
It was like, oh my God, oh my God,
oh my God. And that's at that same theater, Soho Playhouse, down on Van Dam and 6th Avenue. We saw, same theater, the Josephine Baker story, starring one woman show. This girl named, I think her name was Tamisha.
Oh, that's not easy.
Yeah, one woman show.
Is she amazing?
Fabulous.
So there's a lot of good stuff going on. Did you get a chance to see World's Greatest Showman?
No, Everybody, it's a sleeper hit of last year.
It's not good.
People, Randy said it was.
What did Randy say?
He said it was odd, and that its oddness made it good.
Well, here's the thing. Zac Efron belongs in musicals. I don't care what you say. He is a musical kid.
He belongs in all nude musicals.
Okay, I'll take that too. You
Yeah.
know, he's like my hall pass, as
Yeah.
gross as that sounds.
Yeah.
I love him. I think he's sexy, but he's also so enigmatic on stage.
What did you call me?
Enigmatic girl.
Uh-huh.
Watching him, he just belongs there. And I love Zendaya. I know you love Zendaya.
I love me some Zendaya.
Kayala Settle was in there from Waitress. She was amazing. She's the bearded.
Yeah, apparently she's the breakout star.
Well,
of that
she's
movie.
great. She's great. She did Hands on a Hard Body on Broadway, or off Broadway, where she's just an incredible voice. She's unbelievable.
You saw this on Airplane?
No, I went to the theater the day it opened, which I think was Christmas Day or the day after Christmas.
Why?
We liked, Lily and I, there's a musical that opens every year on Christmas, and we go Into the Woods, Les Mis, and went to see it. And I did not think it was great. And they left out all the shitty stuff about P.T. Barnum and what he was really about. Hugh Jackman is just great at what
God.
he does.
I love an Aussie goer. He's a bit of a goer.
It's just so good
Yeah.
at what he does. So seeing him, but the movie itself was like, it wasn't great. I really wanted it
What
to be
shitty
great.
stuff did P.T. Barnum do?
Apparently he was really racist and
Yeah.
didn't treat the freaks really nicely. And,
Yeah.
and in the movie, they made him look like this hero to
Like
these.
Mr. Rogers.
And it was not the case.
Yeah.
But the movie was pretty to look at.
Huh.
For sure, but I was kind of left there going, that wasn't great.
I'll
And
see-
the songs weren't really fantastic either.
I'll see it on the airplane. Who directed? Do you know?
Don't know.
Oh.
I wish it was Rob Marshall, because then it would have been
Yeah.
as good as the other ones.
Yeah.
But
Did you
no.
see all of the movies from the big hit movies from last year?
So the one I have left to see is Call Me by Your Name, and I'm
Oh.
watching it soon.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen Three Billboards. I have them all.
Mm-hmm.
I just have to watch them. I watched name me some,
Oh, let's see. There's Get Out.
which is by
Loved
far my
it.
favorite movie
Loved
of the
it.
year. Yeah.
There's Lady Bird.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Can I just tell you about what happened with Lady
I
Bird?
love that.
Saoirse Ronan, who is my daughter basically in this movie, and I'm Laurie Metcalf in a different way.
Uh-huh.
We waited to watch it with Lily, and how do I do this without spoiler alert? There's a scene, and it's towards the end. Everybody knows that
Did
Saoirse
this happen at the airport?
Yes.
Oh my God. Did you?
Lily was sobbing so hard she couldn't control herself because she was putting herself in that.
Which one is Lily?
My older one, the one that's going
yeah.
to college.
Yeah, yeah.
And the thought of that being her,
Oh, right.
she couldn't. Snot coming out of everywhere.
Yeah.
Couldn't
In
breathe.
the movie theater?
We were at home.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
And she was like loud, screaming, sobbing. Like that's how much it hit her.
Oh dear.
Because there was so much of Saoirse Ronan in that movie of Lady Bird that Lily connects with. She's this awkward outcast, weirdo.
Uh-huh.
She wants people to call her Lady Bird when her mother's like, no.
Yeah.
And there's just so much of Lily.
I love that movie.
And she looks like Lily.
She does. She does.
She looks like Lily.
I love that movie so hard.
Yeah.
I wish the Oscars haven't happened yet when we recorded this, but I really wish that she would win. I think they're probably going to give it to Allison Janney.
No. They're not in the same. Laurie Metcalf and Allison Janney are in the same category. Saoirse Ronan's lead actor.
Yeah. See, these are my picks.
Allison Janney deserves to win for
she
I,
does.
Tonya. Laurie Metcalf was fucking brilliant.
Yeah, listen. Yeah, Allison Janney is great.
She needs that win.
I think, though,
you're going to give it to Margot Robbie over.
No. I think. Okay, listen.
Okay.
For Best Actor, Timothée Chalamet. I don't know how to say his name.
Call Me by Your Name.
Yeah. How do you say his name?
Chalamet.
Okay. All right. I think that's best actor. Best actress is Saoirse Ronan.
Okay.
Best supporting actress is Laurie Metcalf.
Over Allison Janney?
I love Allison Janney. I just thought the I, Tonya movie, it's sort of disco. It's sort of
tongue in cheek. It's fun.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it.
Brilliant.
I just think that Laurie Metcalf would my choice. Now for best supporting
I would be happy
actor,
with either one of them.
Best supporting actor, I was hoping that I just met him at Sundance. His name is Michael, and this is how I learned how to say his name. He told me it's okay. So I have to do the whole routine. I go, I've got a bargain on stools. I'm calling it a Stuhlbarg.
Okay, Stuhlbarg.
Yeah, his name is Michael Stuhlbarg. He told me that. Call Me by Your Name.
Okay, so I haven't seen it yet.
But he's not nominated. I would have given him Best Supporting.
I can't
He's
wait
not
to see it.
nominated. All right, you got to give it
But
up for
Best
the way.
Actor's going to be
No, Timothy. But I'm talking supporting.
Timothy who?
Timothy Chalamet. He's the kid.
Over the Get Out kid?
Yeah.
Daniel.
Yeah.
Is
I
it
think Get Out will get
Best
maybe
screenplay?
Maybe is he done for director? Maybe he should get something because that's a brilliant movie.
Brilliant.
And then, but
I
you got to
think
give it up for me.
think
Have you ever known how to say Michael Stuhlbarg's name?
a Stuhlbarg. Stuhlbarg?
Yeah.
No.
I've got a bargain on stools, Michelle.
It's a Stuhlbarg.
I'm calling it a Stuhlbarg.
Oh, I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. But for me, in my heart of hearts, I do think that Allison Janney is going to take it over Laurie Metcalf.
I think so. I mean,
were both so brilliant. But also, nobody's talking at all about Annette Bening in Film Stars Don't Die in Liverpool.
Oh, I want to see that so bad. He's telling us we have to wrap it
No,
up.
I have to talk about this for 2 minutes.
Okay, all right.
I was on the movie.
I haven't seen it. Where did you see it?
I was on the plane.
Uh-huh.
And I had seen everything else. Lady Bird wasn't on there, and I was dying to see it.
Wait, Liverpool is on an airplane already? You are kidding me. What airline?
It was Virgin.
Uh-huh.
And I had watched a whole bunch of things, and there was nothing left to watch. So then I saw that, and I was like, I love Annette Bening, and it's talking about Liverpool. My favorite accent.
Never won an Oscar.
Favorite, ridiculous.
Yeah.
Favorite accent, one of my favorite accents is Liverpudlian. And this movie is so fantastic. The cast in and of itself is brilliant. The guy who plays opposite her in it is so good. But why people are not screaming, I'm trying to look up who the male lead was.
Screaming about this movie.
Why?
It never got out there. I never got a screener for it. I'm the biggest Annette Bening fan. She is
Jamie
marvelous.
Bell.
Oh, Jamie Bell. Yeah, little Billy Elliot.
He is so. They are so. I don't even know what. I can't even put it in words.
She plays Gloria Graham, the movie star,
the fading movie star who
Yeah.
gets cancer. Right. That's not a spoiler alert because that's the whole premise of the movie. I hope it is just so well done, beautifully shot, beautifully acted. She is so good in it, Rue.
Mm-hmm. She's good in everything. She should have won last year for 20th Century Women, and the year when she was in there for the movie something about heirloom tomatoes. What was that thing with the lesbians?
Brooklyn?
No, she's.
Not Brooklyn. The other one with not Kate Blanchett.
With Mark Ruffalo was the father, and they've got the kids and the heirloom tomatoes.
Heirloom tomatoes. It's called Postcards from the Edge. No, it's called The Seagull, Life Itself, Georgetown, 20th Century Women. Rules Don't Apply. Danny Collins, The Search, The Face of Love, Girl Most Likely. I mean, the point is she has worked so much.
You named all of the movies except the one that she did.
That's the one she's done from 2012 onto Ginger and Rosa.
No.
Ruby Sparks.
No.
The Kids Are All Right.
Kids Are All Right.
Thank you.
That's it. Kids
That's
Are All
2010.
Right. 2010.
Yeah, 2010.
How about that?
But she is, honestly, guys, if you're thinking of, I need a movie to watch, Film Stars Don't Die in Liverpool.
I want to see it.
I want to see it.
I'll have to take a trip across the pond to see it.
I just don't know.
Lord knows I'm not going to sit in a movie theater. You know, when we went to go see Hello Dolly, George and I, we can't fit in those seats. We can't fit in the seats.
What do you mean?
My legs are too long.
Oh.
Not only are my arms too long to box with God.
Yes.
My legs are too long to sit in a movie theater or a Broadway theater.
They need to do like the Sinopolis movie theaters where they have the loungers.
Yeah.
You can call people to get people to come take your order.
You know, I thought of you. I know we got to cut this short, but I thought of you because Encores is putting on.
What are they putting on?
Okay.
Chess.
As soon as you just said that, it popped out of my brain. Can you go on? Can you check? Encores is putting on a big show that you would love. Right now.
A really big show.
Really big show. Encores is the theater company in New York who puts on old productions of shows that, were either big hits or not big hits.
Or they just put on shows that they want to put on.
Yeah.
And that's what you and I had talked about wanting to do, open a theater. They're doing Hey Look Me Over, Grand Hotel, and Me and My Girl.
Yeah. Hey Look Me Over was the one.
Hey Look Me Over. I just added it to my phone.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, the musical. Who did the? Okay, we got to stop
okay,
this.
We'll get back into that.
Yeah. Casper mattresses, y'all. You know we love us some Casper mattresses, child. These are the best mattresses money can buy, and really at a fraction of the price of what you'd pay in a department store.
Are you loving your wave?
I love it so much. I sleep like an angel. I sleep like a little bitty baby.
You are a little
I'm
angel.
a little bitty baby.
Casper brand mattresses combine multiple supportive memory foams for a quality sleep surface with the right amounts of both sink and bounce. We've been saying this for years, you guys. They also have breathable design, which helps you sleep cool and regulate your body temperature throughout the night. So many people be complaining, oh my God, it's so hot. Not with Casper. They even arrive right to your doorstep in a transportable box. I got a Casper Wave. Ru got a Casper Wave. This is the new one. And if for some reason you're still not sure about getting a Casper, don't know why, you can be sure of your purchase with Casper's 100-night risk-free sleep on it trial. Start sleeping ahead of the curve with Casper. Get $50 toward select mattress purchase by visiting casper.com/Ru. Use that offer code RU at checkout. Terms and conditions may apply.
You better sleep on it.
All right, then, Casper.
Hey, ZipRecruiter is looking for people to work.
Yeah, and it's that easy. Plenty of people out there that are offering jobs, plenty of people that need jobs.
Yeah.
And ZipRecruiter, you can put job sites, all that stuff, 100+ job sites with just one click. Their powerful technology officially matches the right people to your job better than anyone else. Now, what that means is I'm a boss.
Yeah.
I have a company. I have to fill it with employees.
You are a boss, aren't you?
I'm a boss bitch.
Uh-huh.
And I'm trying to find people to work for me. But everybody that's coming that I'm interviewing is no good. I need to get more people in there.
Yeah.
I have these jobs to fill. That's why ZipRecruiter is different, because unlike other job sites, ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them. In fact, 80% of the jobs posted on ZipRecruiter get a qualified candidate in 24 hours.
Wow.
No juggling emails, no calls to your office. Simply screen, rate, and manage candidates all in one place with ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use dashboard. So find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by businesses of all sizes to find the most qualified job candidates with immediate results. Ru, it's so easy. Why would you do it any other way?
I don't know. This changes everything.
Yes. So right now, our listeners can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/Ru. That's ZipRecruiter.com/Ru. One more time, y'all, for the people in the back. Try it for free. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/Ru.
We have her here. Constance Zimmer is here. Miss Constance
Zimmer
is here. And I got to tell you the story, first of all, Constance,
Yes,
is that,
hi.
after I watched House of Cards and fell in love with your character, I remember thinking, I know her somehow. I know her from either a 12-step program or something. I have a personal connection.
Like something off of the television.
Something off of the television. I know this girl. And then I think we kind of figured it out that I had forgotten
You had forgotten that we had
that
actually
we'd
met.
actually met.
But
Where did you-
I would rather go with the idea that we know each other from a past life or
Yeah, okay, I
something
like that.
far more interesting than just meeting at an Emmy party.
No, but the
yeah.
Stairways we met at an Emmy party, but you're so familiar, which is part of the reason you're such a great actress, is that we know you. We know you. Have people always had that response to you?
Yes, and I think what's funny is because nobody can ever place any characters I've ever done. They call me by my character names if they even know that I'm an actor. But
Right.
most of the time, it is, you are my friend's friend.
Right.
I worked with you a
Or
year
you remind me
ago.
of somebody.
Yes,
Yeah.
I am always, and I know everybody says there's those doppelgangers in the
Sure.
world, right? But I think it's particularly because I have been on people's televisions
Yeah.
for so long,
For how long?
over 20 years.
Wow.
Wow.
And I've played so many different characters, which I'm so grateful for, that even though they have a similar ongoing theme,
Yeah.
they're all very different in the way they look and the way they're presented on the shows that I've done, that nobody's ever been able to say, oh, you're that one person.
Right.
And so I think that's why then it comes into people saying, oh, you're like my Aunt Sally, or, oh my God, you are like that bitch Rhonda that I went to high school with. And, it becomes relatable, I guess.
Right. And what show do people recognize you from the most?
I would have to say over the last couple of years, it's been interesting because it was always Entourage, always Dana Gordon. I could be standing on a street corner in a hat and jeans and a t-shirt, and I could have a group of guys drive by and say, Dana Gordon, we love you. And I would look around and I would think, I don't know how they even got that. But she was such an iconic character, I think, being on a show, full of so many men. And so Dana Gordon, and still to this day, there's people that will hands down say Dana Gordon is their favorite. But now Quinn from Unreal is coming up in the world. And there's a very strong love-hate relationship. We want to be her, but we're all afraid of her.
She's a badass.
Yeah, and so that's been fun. And because I think she looks a little bit more like how I look in real life, I'm not that harsh, but the haircut's a little similar. It's a little bit easier to go, wait, are you that woman? But that woman's so mean and so vicious, and you're so little and like insecure and quirky. So it's very confusing. And then Janine's another one that it really depends what you watch. I mean, that's what's so fun about my career is there's some people that will never see Unreal, but will watch House of Cards, and then they will know Janine and never watched Entourage.
Right. And so with the acting game, at what point did you realize you were good at it?
I still don't know.
No, come on.
I know, honestly. I'm being 100% honest. I think every single job when it's over, I'm just like any other actor where I would think, oh my God, is this it?
Yeah.
But you've been working for 20 years. That should tell you something.
Yeah, but I know, and that's very nice, but I'm still like an insecure actor. I still feel like maybe that was my moment. Maybe I had my time. Maybe this was it. And then, right before I got House of Cards, I thought my career was done.
Really?
I mean, honestly.
How long had you not worked before that?
2 weeks.
I hadn't worked, maybe for like 6 months, but it wasn't about that. Let me tell you what it was about, because all other actors will listen and say, fuck you, that's cruel. I haven't worked for 6 years. But that's not what it was about. What it was about was I went through a pilot season. You all go through pilot seasons, which is this time when they're trying to find the next Jennifer Aniston or trying to make the next, Big Bang Theory or whatever.
Or Doogie Howser.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
And I went through the worst pilot season of my career where I was up for so many shows and it was always between me and the person who got it. And I thought, that's it. They're tired of me. Everybody's over. They're just over me. I don't know. Maybe I'm done. And I went through 3 months of just horrible depression. And I thought, this is it. I'm done. And then I got the call from House of Cards because I had gone in on it like 3 months earlier, then had this horrible 3-month spell of nobody wanting me, really. Like pretending they wanted me, but then in hindsight, like really they wanted Steve Miller. Like it was such a weird season. And then I got House of Cards and I thought, wait, what is this? Like David Fincher and Kevin Spacey, but it was on Netflix and nobody knew what Netflix was. Everybody felt so bad for me, and they're like, you're not on a network? Like, what is?
Do you have to send the DVDs in?
Yes, exactly. And everybody was like, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean it's streaming? And I said, I don't know what any of it means. But it pays me. But it pays me, and I get to work with David Fincher, and that was so exciting. And then and then I had a whole nother insecure because David didn't want us to wear any makeup. We weren't allowed to look like actors on shows. We were all portraying people. Yeah. And I thought, oh, well, definitely my career's over now. Because I have to play this kind of character with like no makeup and no hair. And even though we did have makeup on. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. And so, but just I would ask, when you get into those places, those dark places where you think, okay, this is the end. I know you're married. I'm sure your husband says, kiddo, look, you're freaking yourself out and it's not true. Are you able to listen to him?
Yes. Yes and no.
Does he pull you out of that place? Does your friend Naomi pull you out of that place?
Does your daughter pull you out?
My daughter does, because when I see my daughter, I don't care about anything else until I go, oh, wait, how much money does it cost to put you through, school?
Yeah.
But, I get pulled out of it by realness of life, like that's not really what matters. I
Right.
will work when I'm supposed to work. I will get the jobs I'm supposed to get. And I have to believe this is my journey, and this journey is going to lead to the next journey, and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
I get in my head, but I don't stay in it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just there enough, to
Sure.
bother you or think about it and have it affect you. But yes, he definitely helps me. And he actually is the one person who had said to me when I was going through that time, and I said, oh God, maybe it's because I'm going to be 40 and, it's that taboo
Yeah,
of when
right.
you turn 40 and you're never going to work again. And he said to me, I'm going to tell you this right now. Your 40s are going to be the greatest time in your life and in your career, because you are going to be getting the parts that have substance, that have quality,
Mhm.
that aren't about like, oh, the young 25-year-old girlfriend who like runs in and
Mm-hmm.
even though I wish I could play those
No,
parts.
yeah, right,
They
right.
never let me play those
Yeah.
parts. And he was right. I mean, my 40s have actually been the best time in my career and have been the best parts I've had my whole career. I mean,
Yeah.
besides Dana Gordon.
Yes.
But yeah, really like have been the most experienced and most fun I've had.
And your husband can say that because he's in his 80s, right?
Yes, exactly. Exactly. But doesn't look a day over 50.
No, thank God. And the sperm still works. So that's great.
How long have you been married?
We have been married 7 years, but we've been together for 12 years.
How old's your kid? And do you know the father of your kid?
Yes, actually, it happens to be my husband as well.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
so lucky.
I'm really lucky,
Interesting.
really lucky.
Yeah.
Even though we did the backwards thing where we got married after we had the kid. I think he needed to make sure it was his.
Right.
Right.
Because it looked like Jeffrey Boyer-Chapman.
Well,
Oddly enough.
it's true. That is possible. Except that she's doesn't even look like me. She's so fair skinned. It's
Aw.
terrifying. But
Uh,
no, she's 9, and yeah, she's awesome.
No, I
And
just-
she loves you. By
oh,
the way.
really?
Loves the show, and it has been an incredible. Just to watch the show with her has been wonderful, because it's bringing up conversations that we would never be talking about just like on a random walking down the street. And she falls in love with it. Like, she's so in love with Peppermint.
Uh-huh.
She like dreams about Peppermint.
That's a good choice.
That Peppermint's like her best friend. And we
Really?
talk about it and we have conversation. I mean, it's really, I thank you for that. Just knowing that, your reach is so far.
Well, I love that. I had a conversation over the weekend about where we are as humans on this planet, and this man who is a very powerful man, he was talking. He was saying, no despair. Young people are our salvation. Things are changing quickly. Now, you've got a 7-year-old. Do you? And you were 7 at one point.
Yes.
Do you know if our kids different today, like your daughter?
Absolutely.
How are they different?
They are seeing things that I never saw as children, that I only saw when I was an adult. We're talking more. The communication is far more open. Now, obviously, I can only speak for myself and my friends around me, because that's all I know. I know there's a lot of places that are not
Sure.
any more open than they were 20 years ago. But I do believe that I'm noticing a difference in the kids growing up today. And my daughter is better at her age than I was at her
Really?
age. And I just think because it's all about communication. If you cannot be afraid to talk about things that I might not even have the answers for, but talking about it and communicating it together as a family is incredible. I mean, the fact that me and my husband and my 9-year-old daughter watch
Wait,
Drag
9 or
Race.
7?
No, she's
9.
9.
Okay.
That's all right. I wasn't going to correct you.
Okay. All right.
But do you remember growing up? Because we had I don't know how else to say it, and this is no disrespect, but a cross-dresser in town growing up. And I remember running into her at the deli and knowing that something was different about this woman that was in front of us.
How old were you?
I must have been 6 or 7. Like, I was real young. And coming home, maybe 8, and asking my mother, and she was like, oh, she wasn't disparaging, but she didn't want to have a conversation.
Right.
She would just say, it's a he, she, which was offensive now.
Mhm.
But back then, they didn't know what to call
Sure.
cross-dressers except cross-dressers. They weren't trans. They weren't transvestites. They
Sure.
weren't anything. But now the conversation is commonplace.
Right.
There
Right.
are transgender kids in public schools with these kids assimilating. So it's a beautiful thing when we can have these open conversations.
Right.
We are leaps and bounds further than we were.
We certainly are. Do you think that that's what the whole sort of cultural war that's happening now is about? You know, with the far right and progressive. Do you think? What do you think?
Well, I still think we have a long way to go. But I do feel like any step is a right step. We're headed in the right direction.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But there will always be people that will never understand it because they don't want to understand it. And I know a lot of those people, and they're all old. So hopefully they will just die off.
Yeah.
And then the younger generation will take over, and we'll all be fine.
Well, thank God Jim Baker has freeze-dried food that we can
Yes,
last for 30
you saw that
years.
video.
Oh, honey.
Isn't it amazing?
I've fallen into a Jim Baker freeze-dried food K-hole.
Yeah, right. Because there's a video on YouTube by the group Super Deluxe, which I
Yes.
guess is taken over from Everything is Terrible. Remember those
Yes,
videos?
yes.
Well, they're doing these videos now called from Super Deluxe, and they've got one on Jim Baker of Jim and
With
Tammy
his
Faye
staying
Baker's-
alive food.
Yeah, it is brilliant.
Yes.
Oh my
Brilliant.
God.
Yes.
So now we're talking with Constance Zimmer. Now, in a minute, we're going to bring in her co-star from the TV show Unreal, Jeffrey Bowyer-Chapman, who is just. Do you just want to lick his skin?
I do. I really do. I mean, it really it upsets me how beautiful he is from inside out. I mean, even at 4 a.m. when he shows up in the makeup trailer, and I'm like, bitch, you better leave because
Yeah.
I can't handle all of this right now.
Yes.
It's too early in the morning, and I got too much work to
Right.
do.
Excuse my beauty.
Exactly. Well, I tell you what you should do. You should leave the makeup trailer, go directly to the parking lot, and key his motherfucking car.
Do it, Constance.
You know, that's what being over 40 teaches you. I don't have to put up with this. These are not slave days. You're looking all hot and everything.
But listen, his face is beautiful, his soul is beautiful, but he's got the name of a serial killer. So
Yes,
think about it
that's
that
true.
way.
That's
maybe
true.
that's what we need to work on.
Yes.
Yeah. Jeffrey Bowyer-Chapman.
That screams
that's
serial killer.
Totally,
It does.
totally.
JBC. I just call him JBC.
And he
Yeah.
calls you CZ.
Yes, easy.
Cubic zirconia.
We're going to go.
Yeah, never the real thing, always the ripoff. Welcome to my life. Everybody's always like, "You're Pam Adalon." No, I'm Constance Zimmer. Who's that?
We're going to go to a break, but before that, I want to ask about studying acting. Do you still go to classes? Do you still study?
I do not. I only studied acting. I came to Hollywood when I was 18, out of high school, and I went to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts
And you came here from?
from Newport Beach. It was
Very far.
real
Very
long
far. Very
hitchhiking
far.
trip. Yes, and studied with Stella Adler when she was alive.
Wow.
For a year, and then did American Academy for a year, then went to Stella Adler for 2 or 3 years. And then I just did plays, and then I actually haven't studied acting since.
Because a lot of people still study, working actors, years and years of working, still study. Why the choice to not study anymore?
I don't really have an answer. I mean, I probably should, but I really don't have the time.
Yeah.
If that sounds horrible.
No.
But I found that my learning and what I've been integrating into my acting has really been my experiences in life, the people I'm coming across, not literally, but
yes.
it's just that everything becomes just all of my experiences pushed out through one character, if that makes sense. But I think that I would definitely need to study if I was going to do a specific dialect, if I was actually playing a person, a real person, and I would want to get up in that person's head and understand all of it and the way they walk and talk, and that then I would probably go back into studying. But for me right now, I'm
Right on.
I don't.
Well, whatever you're doing is working. We're going to take a real quick break. We'll be back with more Constance Zimmer after this.
Zimmer.
Child, if you own it, you better sleep on it.
Aw.
I'm just talking about Casper.
I know you are. Casper, our friends, obviously, you guys know by now. But if you're new to us, Casper's an online retailer of premium mattresses for a fraction of the price. We were so sick of walking into this mattress store and be like, how much? What? You what?
Excuse me?
I mean, I need to give a kidney to have a good night's
Or
sleep.
take out a mortgage on my house?
Okay, I don't think so. I got kids that got to go to college. Casper brand mattresses combine multiple supportive memory foams for a quality sleep surface with the right amount of both sink and bounce. And that's true because, you know, regular mattresses are bouncy, Tempur-Pedic mattresses, you sink. This one combines them both. And they also have breathable design to help you sleep cool and regulate your body temperature throughout the night so you're not tossing and turning because the mattress is making you hot. They even arrive right to your doorstep in a transportable box.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
I love a transportable box. Casper's not just a mattress company. They offer a wide array of products. Listen, sidebar, I got a dog mattress.
Oh, wow.
Casper has dog mattresses. It's literally like the Rolls Royce of dog beds. Bella, who's my senior dog, it's her favorite thing on earth. And I can pretty much have, you know, any bed I want to get. I've been through a lot of them.
Yeah.
She is so happy. I'm going to post a picture of it. I have. Both of us just got the Casper Wave mattress, not the dog mattresses, but for ourselves. We love it. So if for some reason you guys are still not sure about getting a Casper, I told you I sleep on top of 2 Caspers. I have the original and the Wave on top of it.
Oh, girl.
I should Instagram a picture of that too. You can be sure of your purchase with Casper's 100-night risk-free sleep on it Rip Van Winkle trial. And of course, did we mention free shipping and returns throughout the U.S. and Canada?
No, I get you have now.
Thank you. What you waiting for? Start sleeping ahead of the curve with Casper. Get $50 toward select mattress purchase by visiting casper.com/RU. Use that offer code RU at checkout. It'll never, ever, ever be like the sleep you get with a Casper mattress.
And it was just like all my birthdays, I'd get like a 6-pack of Zima. And I was
so
like,
awful.
you guys, it's really
I liked
bad.
it. It tasted like Sprite. You went to
That's right.
you went to Ada. I went to the redheaded stepsister Amda.
Oh, the music.
The music
The
makes
music.
me move.
That's
We are back
right.
with Constance Zimmer after our little breaky poo. I love our breaks so much.
They're so fun.
They're so much fun. We
And-
do these commercials that are just crazy.
Really?
We just cut up
Stupid,
and carry
yeah.
on for days. Now, okay, so now I want to just touch on the fact that you were on 90210.
Yeah,
For a minute.
I never missed one episode.
What do you remember about that experience? How'd you get the job? Was it one of your first jobs?
Oh, yeah, it was definitely early on in my career. I mean, my first job was actually on Ellen when Ellen had her sitcom.
Yeah.
And I played a riot girl.
Uh-huh.
And I was trying to get Ellen to dance with me. And it was the major episode when she was trying to kiss, not Laura Dern, not the Laura Dern kissing one, but when she had this girlfriend on the show and she was really trying to understand, were they girlfriends or were they friends?
Right.
And because I kept prodding her, it forced her to just say, like, are we a couple?
Right.
And so then and then she was like, no, I'm not going to dance with you. So it's very, that's really a strong memory.
Wow. And so after coming to LA, how long did it take for you to get your first, that job?
It took, it was a good 5 years before
Wow.
I started working consistently. I did a lot of national commercials, but that also didn't really happen until about 5 years in. My first jobs, I was covered in prosthetics.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
Completely. Do you remember the Duracell commercials?
Yeah,
The
with the-
Puttermans? They had
Yes,
those-
the plastic
batteries.
people.
I was the daughter in those
Oh,
commercials.
no way.
Yes.
How many of those did you do?
I did 2 years of them, and we used to shoot 24 hours because we were in full prosthetic makeup.
right.
So we would just fall asleep in the slant
Slant
things.
boards, yeah.
Slant boards. And so we would shoot about 3 to 4 commercials in 24 hours.
Oh my goodness.
So it was probably a total of 12 commercials.
How'd you pee?
Well, you can, even though you're in a full pantyhose bodysuit, there was always cut open to
Sure.
sit and squat and
Sure.
pee.
Okay.
And all the clothes were Velcroed
Yeah.
on. But yeah, that was intense.
Oh my goodness.
So I didn't know if I was going to work because everything I did was
Sure.
covered in plastic. And then I was like Mama Bear in Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
Yeah.
And then I became a soup performer, and I was like, this is not going well.
No. And so it's just a tough business. People have no idea how to, because and I want to get back to 90210.
I know, sorry.
I know, but I
digress.
do. But when you go on auditions, what other actresses do you always see there? Who's always sitting in that couch or in the chair in the Ruby, that room? Who do you see every single time you go on a rehearsal?
Well, for the longest time, it was always Julie Bowen, Sasha Alexander, Lisa Edelstein.
Sure.
It's funny because Pam Adalon and I everybody thinks we are each other, but yet we never auditioned against each other, which I find fascinating. We should have always been in the same rooms, but it was really those girls were the girls that I was around the most. I'm trying to think if there's somebody else in there that I feel like
Debbie
I'm missing
Mazar?
someone. Debbie, not so much. I mean, even though Debbie and I were on Entourage together, but we didn't really compete because Debbie plays a different sort of character.
Right. You're that smarter than the room, wisecracking girl, but it's Debbie's more New York style.
Yes.
But you always play a smart girl who is who knows the inside story.
Very present.
Yeah, I guess, which is so weird because I'm so not that. It's fascinating that I can pull it off. I mean, everybody always thinks I'm super smart, and I'm really not. So I always feel like, okay, well, I made them believe that. That was great. But it is like, and also Debbie is like in the glamour version.
Right.
I'm not. I'm a little bit more in the like best friends category.
Right.
I'm a character actress.
Yeah.
I've been a character. I've been fighting to be a character actor my whole life. And everybody was like, oh, but you don't look like a character actor. I said, but I do. Like, that's what I am. I would never put myself in a category of like a beautiful leading lady. Those are not the parts I want to play. I want to play the underdog. I want to play the characters that are maybe a little bit more, have some secrets and a little bit more darkness and layers. Not to say the leading ladies don't have layers, but I like to fight a little bit more. For my characters.
I'm going to go back to House of Cards just for a second because there's a couple of scenes in particular that you really excel at. When you first meet the Runa Mara, is that her?
Kate Mara.
Kate Mara character, you have doubts about her because you kind of suspect that she's either sleeping with the boss or that she's giving away secrets or that she's got secrets. And you were able to portray on your face, we could read that you did not trust her intentions. So in that scene in particular, what is the background work that you do for it? How do you do the textures and layers, and how do you make us, the audience, convinced and understand what you're thinking?
Wow. Thank you. That's a very huge compliment. I don't take that lightly because it means a lot to me. But it makes me super emotional because it's really hard for me to get compliments from people who I respect and admire. And when I get those kind of compliments, I get really verklempt. But anyways, and I'm not even Jewish. Okay. So, for me, Janine was a very, very important character for me because I felt I was speaking for all the journalists in the world that felt like Twitter and social media and the lack of research was going away. And it was going to become that people were going to get their news on Twitter and they were going to never check facts and all this kind of stuff. And that's who I was as an actor. I wasn't on Twitter. I wasn't on Instagram. I didn't even know. I hated all of it. I didn't understand any of it. I was like, I'm old school. Like, I come from the age of when you get a job because you're the best one at the job, not because you have 1 million followers.
Right.
And so it was really in my heart of hearts, I felt like I was there fighting the good fight for all of us who aren't familiar with this new way of the world and aren't comfortable with it. And what is your intention? And so it was, for me, a lot of emotional stuff, feeling like I'm here, I'm representing. And if I'm representing, I've got to be, it's like everybody is questionable, right? Because how do you rise that fast when we've all been here working our asses off?
Right.
And so that's where all of Janine kind of for me came from, like fighting the good fight and believing in the value of what you have to offer and not being like a, what's it called?
A slacker or a
or like
Faker.
or like, an overnight sensation
Right,
or,
yes.
flash in the pan.
Yes,
That's what
yeah.
I'm thinking.
But
kind
it
of
just
thing.
goes to show you that no matter what it is, whether it's this role, a serial killer, I think of Charlize Theron in Monster a lot. You can bring a little bit of you
Yeah.
into every role that you
Sure.
do.
Well, the character has to have humanity for us to fall in love with it. And for backstory, for people who don't know, House of Cards is about this Washington motif, but the Janine character is part of the kind of like the Washington Post newspaper, where the Kate Mara character comes to work and all that kind of stuff.
And
But
she's so great too.
she's
Caitlin.
so
Yeah.
great. Everything that show, the pacing, the way it looks, everything about it is so brilliant. It took me forever to get on board with it, but to finally watch it.
It's a commitment.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it's just brilliant. Then there's another scene where your character Janine runs away because some shit goes down and she's very afraid. And I'm wondering, what did you use to because I believe that you were really scared for your life. I think Lucas comes to see you or something. Who, by the way, he drives me crazy. He drives me crazy in a way that I'm uncomfortable talking about because I think he's very
Sexy.
yes.
Oh, he drives you crazy in that way.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow.
He certainly does.
Rue.
I don't remember the actor's name.
No, his name is Sebastian. No,
Oh.
wait. No, his name on the show is
Lucas.
Lucas.
But
My
he's
God,
but
I
he's
just-
his name is Sebastian something.
Yes.
On the thing.
Bach. Sebastian Bach.
Yes.
No.
Oh, he plays lots
From
of great
Skid Row.
Yes, exactly.
Is that crazy that I'll be like, I don't remember his name?
No,
I've
no,
blocked it out of
no.
my memory.
I got it. Hold on.
But you know the scene where
I know
think you're
exactly
outside
the
on a
scene.
swing, maybe. Or
no,
a bench?
we are. No, he comes to my
Oh, he comes
apartment.
to your apartment. Yes,
and
yes.
it's in the kitchen.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
That was one of the hardest scenes for me, actually.
What did you use? How did you do that?
Well, I think getting emotional in general as an actor, you are sometimes pulling from your own stuff, but you have to be careful because if you pull from your own stuff, did I say it right?
Sebastian-
No, Sebastian Arculis, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Arculis.
Is that Greek?
Yes.
Mm.
I was right though. At least I didn't
You
mess
got
up.
the-
I got his name
yes,
right. See,
yes.
guys, sorry, Sebastian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have to be careful using your own stuff because why?
Because you can lose yourself in it, and then it's not the character. Then it's Constance going to some emotional place that you don't know how to pull back from. But for me, in particular, in that scene, I had a really hard time with Janine leaving,
yeah.
and I fought about it a lot with Beau Willimon, the creator,
yeah.
because I felt Janine was this character that was all about fighting and not stepping back and
Right.
going after it. And then they were like, no, you have to go. You have to run away. And I said, what would ever make her leave? And he said, you're scared.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay, well then I better be the scaredest I have ever
Yeah.
been in my fucking life to make this believable.
Yeah.
And then you go into then it becomes the character
Yeah.
to me, and it becomes like, what would scare this character?
Yeah.
And
it's brilliant. What is your dream role? What if you were going to remake something, and we've been very good at this, Michelle and I, of deciding, and as I'm talking to you, I'm thinking about what it could be, and
I want to go back to comedy. If you're thinking about anything, don't
Yeah.
make it a drama.
okay.
Who's the one
All
that
right.
did Kate and Allie with Jane Curtin? Who's the other one?
That's she was on
Oh, I don't
Macmillan and
remember.
Wife,
Yeah,
and her
her.
name is Macmillan and Wife, and her name is Susan.
You know who I'm talking
Yes,
about.
I do. Susan St. James.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, I would
Yeah.
never come up with that.
Yeah, no, I just see
That's
a picture.
That's why I just told
She
you.
does. Oh,
Right?
because that was a light
And
comedy.
Love Story. Who did Love Story?
That's Allie
McGraw.
McGraw.
There
Ally
you go.
McGraw,
You
as
know,
opposed to Ali Sheedy.
Actually, that's
Very different.
Not a bad idea for her to do either Kate and Allie,
Yep.
or for her to do Macmillan and Wife, a redo of Macmillan and Wife, where he plays the police commissioner, and his wife, who's very salty and funny and fun, she kind of helps solve crimes with
This
him.
it's her Susan St. James.
Susan St. James is in
That's
your
so funny.
wheelhouse. Do you know who that is?
I'm having a picture of her in my brain, but
Kate
I
and
would-
Allie was brilliant. It's one of my
Yes, I
favorite
remember
sitcoms.
Kate and Allie,
Yeah.
so that's why I'm probably picturing her. Because for me, I always go to like Laverne and Shirley, or I would want to redo I Love Lucy, or
Right.
because I come from comedy, like I came from sitcoms, and everybody always said nobody's ever going to take you serious because you started in sitcoms and you came from sitcoms.
Right.
Which is why I was on the like Ellen's and Seinfeld
Sure.
and 90210, even though 90210 wasn't really.
It was comedy to a lot of people.
To
but
some
not
people.
me.
Yes.
I took it seriously. Both incarnations I'll have.
Yes. Oh my. You even went to the incarnation.
Yeah.
I saw both. See, I had a 9021 over party when the first one ended.
Oh,
my
dear.
gosh.
Oh, dear.
Michelle.
We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to have your co-star from your television show Unreal join us, and I'm going to have you guys talk together about doing this show.
Oh my God, I love it.
We'll be right back after this. Hey, Valentine's Day is coming up.
I mean, right around the corner.
Yeah, do you guys exchange gifts?
My husband insists on getting me gifts.
Uh-huh.
When I'm, you and I are very similar in when we want something, we get it.
Yeah.
When I think, like I brought you a pair of sunglasses today, I'm
Yeah.
like, I want you to have these. That's just the way that we roll.
Yeah.
If you think of me, you get me something.
Sure.
And that's not the way my husband is. So yes, to answer your question, we do exchange gifts because then I feel guilty for not. But my husband's obsession,
He is a watch
Watches.
person.
Yeah.
Yes.
like me with glasses,
Yeah.
him with watches.
How many do you think he has?
He probably has about 20.
Okay. No,
which
that's not too bad.
Not crazy.
No.
But of course, the older we get, the more he's liking,
Yeah.
big ticket items. Like I want my
Exactly.
Corvette. I
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
But, watches that are beautiful and look good on your body do not have to break the bank.
That's right. And that people have revolutionized the whole watchmaking movement. And speaking of movement, that's the watch company we're talking about. It's founded on the belief that style shouldn't have to break the bank to get
Yes.
something gorgeous. This watchmaker's goal is to change the way consumers think about fashion by offering high-quality, minimalist products at revolutionary prices.
With over 1 million watches sold to customers in 160 plus countries around the world, Movement Watches has solidified itself as the world's fastest growing watch company, you guys. Now listen, it is that time of the year again. You think of your gift giving, what are you going to get? You thought it was all done at Christmas, but Valentine's Day is here, so it's coming up so quickly, you have to find the perfect gift. Now, I have procrastinated for many years.
Yeah.
This year, I got one. We've got it in our hand. This
Yeah.
is actually for my husband.
Yeah, okay.
Because I told you how he loves watches.
Uh-huh.
So we're going to open our watches right
yeah,
now.
I'm opening
here.
mine right now. I want to
on the
see
air.
what is. Oh, yes.
And we each ordered, oh, this is gorgeous.
This is just what I ordered. Look how beautiful mine is.
Beautiful. Let me see
Look
yours.
at that. It's got the blue face.
Chic.
Gorgeous.
So chic. And that's what I love. Their watches are minimalist.
Oh, I love that.
It looks like one of those, ones.
Those ones.
Those expensive ones, but like we said, it doesn't have to break the bank. Our friends at Movement, the ones who revolutionized the watch game, have put together the perfect gift guide to make your life easy, whether you're shopping for him or for her. Yes, honey, they have girl watches too. You want watches or their new fashion forward bracelets, sunglasses, or any combination in their limited edition gift box. Movement's in-house stylists have curated their trendiest pieces for gift ideas for your special someone that they're going to love. This is so gorgeous.
Oh,
these
they're
watches that we
definitely
got.
going to love this. I love this watch. And talk about a really classy fashion accessory. Really well done.
Timeless,
Mm-hmm.
pun intended.
Pun intended.
Movement and their stylists have curated an interactive gift guide to make Valentine's Day shopping painless. You could find the perfect gift for him, for her, whatever you want, and get 15% off today because you know how we do.
You know how we roll.
We can't do this without giving you a break. 15% off today with free shipping and free returns by going to movement.com. Now it's spelled mvmt.com/RU. mvmt.com/RU. Join the movement.
We are back. We're talking to Constance Zimmer. And now we brought in her co-star, Jeffrey Bowyer-Chapman, the three names.
Yes.
Oh
the
my
boy with three names.
And a
RuPaul,
hyphen, right?
Andre Charles,
And they're on
and
the
a
show.
hyphen.
They're on the show, Unreal. But I'm going to talk about that. But I think I asked you last time, Jeffrey. Did anybody advise you to not use three names? And or even to use a different name, because when you have your real name, it's on public record.
I hear you say this time and again, and as time goes on, I'm realizing the validity to that. That it would serve me well for situations where I'm at the free clinic down the street, and I don't want them calling out all three names when I'm waiting. You know?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
There's a level of anonymity that goes along with changing your name, and I understand that. Nobody ever advised me to change my name to just Jeffrey Bowyer or just Jeffrey Chapman until it was too late. I'd already been working.
Jeff Boychap, is that
Jeffrey
what you said?
Boychap.
Jeff Boychap.
But we did talk about this, and I remember saying to you that it was a way for me to. It is my name. Jeffrey Bowyer-Chapman is my name, and it's a way for me to pay homage to my mother. Her last name is Bowyer. My father's last name is Chapman, and I felt like it was me, giving her props for she made me, she raised me.
Sure.
Yeah,
well, I
she
think
deserves
when you
the props.
go to the free clinic, just write down that your name is JBC, and then
there you
go.
go.
JBC.
There you go.
Thank you.
Is Constance Zimmer your real name?
Yes.
Did anyone ever say to you, "Hey, you might want to think about using a different name"?
Yes, my mother,
She
because
did.
she felt that I wouldn't work because I was so specifically German. But
and there's a lot of Jewish people of power in this industry.
Constance Zimmer.
Except the funny thing is everybody thinks I'm Jewish, so I win either way.
Yeah. Does anybody call you Connie Zimmer?
I was Connie in high school, and all the way up until high school, and then when I graduated, I said, I'm going to be Constance. And so it's actually worked in my favor, because now whenever people call me Connie, I know they're from my life all up into high school. So it's great. I'm like, oh, we went to high school together, even though I have no idea who they are.
Is your production company called Truth or Consequences? Or is it Constance Craving?
No.
Productions?
But I get that a lot.
Constance Craving Productions.
Constance Constantinople.
Yes.
I did always get that people would sing to me, Constance Craving.
Sure.
Like,
that's a hot drag
Great
name,
songs,
actually.
right?
Constance Craving.
There you go.
I've been known to call you Connie on occasion, but
to
I also
piss me off.
I call her. I tend to call her hip hop Connie.
Oh,
okay.
really?
Which is it's a throwback to her days before the days of acting, when she was a hip hop aerobics instructor.
Were you a fly
kidding
girl?
me?
Yes.
Really?
I auditioned to be a fly girl.
And
Clearly didn't make the cut.
J-Lo took it.
Yeah, that's right. It was between me and J-Lo.
Yeah.
Yes, I was a hip hop aerobics instructor.
You are
Connie.
kidding me. What were
is
your
that?
top songs? What were your go-to songs? And we will get to Unreal just in a minute. But this
Wait,
is
first
more,
of all, let's figure
this
out
is
what
more-
year it was.
yes, by the
Is
song.
it yes? Well,
By
we
the
could
song?
tell.
Oh,
If she
see,
tells
if
us year, we can maybe pick some.
Oh, okay. You want to
Okay.
do it that way?
Well, no, because I had my favorites. I didn't go by what was like
New or
trendy
current,
of
right.
No, I was always.
Did you
Michael
have Rump
Jackson.
Shaker in there?
Rump Shaker? No.
Did you have that group Next?
Not Too Close.
Too Close. You the one did it. You made it hard.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, babe. Dun, dun, dun.
No.
Oh,
No.
yeah,
Do you remember-
dancing.
This could go on for
I do
days.
love it though. I'm just gonna let you guys keep singing songs.
You said
That's
hip
right.
hop aerobics.
Hip hop, yes, but I'm not saying that I knew what hip hop was. I just
Oh,
knew how to
okay.
do the dancing. I just knew how to integrate it into aerobics
So
and make
what
it entertaining.
music
Yeah.
was your favorite?
I used Michael Jackson.
That's not hip hop, Connie.
No, but it was for me. It was because I loved Michael. I was.
What's your favorite
obsessed
Michael
with
Jackson?
Michael
Smooth
Jackson.
Criminal?
No, I would use "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough."
Yes.
Right.
And "Working Day and Night."
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Watch out now.
These are also hip hop.
I was gonna say,
No,
I feel like the
it's
word
not. You
hip
guys,
hop
I'm
when
not.
at a white space such as Equinox or someplace like that, where I'm
Right,
assuming that you
right.
taught the word hip hop
I
can be
taught at
translated quite loosely.
24-hour fitness.
There you go.
Okay.
In
Not
LA?
in
Yes,
Inglewood.
in Pasadena.
There
Oh, in
you
Pasadena.
Point, case in point.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Spice Girls. I did Spice
Okay.
Girls.
All right.
There was some Spice Girls. I'm not saying that it was real hip hop.
Yeah. So
what
it was ethnic aerobic.
There you go.
Go. Not with the
Is what it
Spice Girls,
was.
girl.
Well, you know.
We had
No.
Scary.
All right, so I want to talk about Unreal. You guys are both on the show. Now, I read somewhere that it's not coming back until 2018. Is that right?
Correct.
Yes.
And why such the long lull in between seasons?
We got to keep you wanting more.
Oh, okay. All right.
I think they decided to switch up the programming dates this year in order to try to gain a larger audience. We are a summer show. We've aired our first 2 seasons in June. A lot of people aren't sitting at home, you know, when there's summer nights in June, whereas in January, February, March.
Have you already filmed the next season?
Correct. We've shot our 3rd season. We featured a bachelorette this season, so it was 1 woman and 25 men. It was a very different dynamic.
Are you able to say that on the
Absolutely,
podcast?
You are. Yeah, and we go into filming our 4th season starting in October back in Vancouver.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, do you guys remember the first scene that you two had together?
Yes, I do.
Did you audition together?
What was the first scene in episode 1?
It was the first scene in episode 1. It was our first scene shooting together.
Thank you. You were bald.
Yes, I was bald.
Right. Yeah.
We didn't audition together, actually. Constance was a gift for us. We shot the original pilot in 2013 in Atlanta with another actress playing Constance's character. When we got picked up to series, they revamped the show, did some rewriting, some recasting, and after saying no 17 times, Constance Zimmer finally said yes and said, I'll come play with you guys.
Wait a minute. Really? You were offered the role and you didn't want to do it?
That is true.
I'm spilling all your tea.
I know. What is going on?
Why?
No, it's known. Everybody, it's now become like this ongoing joke that I turned down the part 17 times, when really I only turned it down twice. But I didn't read it. It was a show on Lifetime, and it was shooting in Atlanta, and I had been on House of Cards.
Yeah.
And I just felt that wasn't my trajectory. I didn't want to leave my 5-year-old daughter, and there was nothing for me that I was drawing me to this show.
Right.
It also felt like a character I'd played before, and I was trying to go away from these women that I've been playing. And so, yes, I did. I turned it down once.
What made you change your mind?
Well, they were picked up. They picked up the show after they shot the pilot, and they were going to shoot it in Vancouver, which was only a 2-hour flight.
Sure.
And no time change. And my daughter was a little bit older, and they had 10 episodes. So it wasn't like a trial run. I knew that they were really behind it, and they really knew what they did wrong in the pilot and how they wanted to change it.
Oh, did you see the pilot?
None of us have. They've never shown it to us.
That's probably a good thing.
They won't let us.
Yeah.
And I met with Marty Noxon and Sarah Gertrude Shapiro, the creators of the show, and I talked with them for 3 hours. And I told them all of my concerns about this kind of character and this show and what I needed from it. And they pretty much said, we will do whatever you want.
Oh, I love that.
We will do this together. We will do this as a team. We will make her all the layers you want and more. You just have to say yes.
Wow.
It was very much a collaborative effort, I feel like, in casting this show. I mean, I've told you this story as well, that the character of Jay that I played in the original pilot was rewritten for me to be an openly gay man in the reshooting of the pilot.
When they rewrote the character, did they rewrite the character wearing assless chaps?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. With
Yeah.
that question. 2 sizes too small.
I love the term assless chaps because it's redundant. I mean, all chaps assless.
Yes.
But you have to say assless chaps for the joke.
For the visual.
Because otherwise it'll be jeans with
They'll
no
just be
ass.
jeans.
Right.
They'll just be jeans. Now, tell me this. Now, when you read a script, can you see, are the words there? Is a good script always very obvious to you?
To me at this point, yes.
Yes, I would say yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I was up for Modern Family. It was between me and Julie Bowen.
Bowen.
Told
Fuck
you.
her. Fuck
And-
her.
But I read that script. I read that pilot script, and I knew that was going to be a show that was going to be on the air for quite some time. And that stuff. I mean, obviously I read House of Cards, and there's definitely things that I read now that I say, this is incredible. I never read a script on Unreal. I agreed to do it seeing no script.
Wow, that's brave.
It is
wow.
Brave. For me, it's gotten to the point where I, when I'm reading a script or auditioning for something, if I remember the words immediately, if I can retain them, and if I can spout them off, and speak like a regular human being speaks, to me, that's a sign of good writing, and it's something that I want to be a part of.
Wow. So it's in a couple of months, you guys are going to go back up to Vancouver. How long does it take to shoot? What's the order for? Is it 12
We're doing
8.
We're doing 8 this season. We did 10 for the first 3 seasons. And now
No, you're doing 8 for the 4th season.
Correct.
Right, because we've got the 3rd season is in the can.
Correct.
So you're going to go back and do 8.
Correct.
Why 8 instead of 10?
I'm not really sure. I think they just wanted to switch up the format of the show.
Are you sure your
year.
characters aren't being killed off?
Well, you never know.
No, I'm the one that does the killing.
Oh, girl.
Nobody can kill me.
I mean, that's the cool thing about this show is that there are 4 of us who come back every year. Myself, Constance Zimmer, Sherry Appleby, and Craig Bierko. And it's a brand new rotating cast of characters. So we never really know what to expect every year going back to the show, but we know that we have that sense of like familial, how do you say that word?
You
That was
familiarity.
right.
You sound like
No,
me.
familial
Yeah.
is right.
Familiarity.
Yeah.
Going back. And the fact that I get to go back to work with one of my best friends in the entire world, Constance Zimmer, every year is just beyond a blessing.
Wow.
So really excited to go back. I would say you're the biggest gift that I've received from this experience on this show.
Jeffrey.
Wow.
That's
That's
sweet.
brilliant.
It's the truth.
We should probably tell him that we were saying that his name was like a serial killer.
I
before he
said
did
that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Michelle said that.
I won't take
Sorry.
it personally.
Uh-huh.
Michelle.
Isn't there a Chapman?
Visage.
Isn't there a
There
Chapman?
was a
Mark
there was a
David
Jeffrey
Chapman.
Dahmer.
Yes, yeah, Mark David Chapman.
Wasn't he one of
didn't
them?
He killed John Lennon.
He was, one of them. Was
Yeah.
like Chapman.
I think so.
Yeah.
You know, I make love, not war.
Okay.
Nothing to
Oh,
worry
yes,
All right.
Jeffrey. Yes.
So now, you know, if this show went on and on and on, do you think you'd do it forever and ever and ever?
No.
I think it has an ending.
It
Yeah.
does.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do. No, and I believe that because you don't want something to drag on until everybody's just over it and no one cares anymore.
Well, if it's still delivering, that won't happen.
Yeah, and mortgages need to be paid.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Very
I'll do
true.
Drag Race season 22.
Right.
I ain't got no problem.
This is, you know, I think it's a little bit different with reality as opposed to scripted
True,
television.
true.
Though, you know, I feel like you and I have said it from the beginning. You said it to me, and it's something that's really stuck with me. That as long as people are watching, as long as the content is good, and as long as we're enjoying ourselves when we show up to work every day, that's reason enough to
Well,
keep
see, that's
going
where
back.
you and I differ, and that's where Michelle. I think
Take the
that's
money.
where we're different from. We go where the money
Take the
is.
money.
Yes,
Motherfucking
we
money.
will. We will go.
I ain't got no integrity. These are not.
Girl, I lost my integrity with my virginity. You can take all the E's and take them.
Oh,
You know
Lord.
that I think that I can say very proudly that I have never taken a job for the money.
Really?
I have always done the opposite. I have always taken the
Have you ever
job-
had sex for the money?
Well, that's a whole other
That's a different
podcast.
You-
that goes along with my non-hip hop Connie.
Yes.
That's my
You've
favorite
never taken a
story.
job for the money, but your agents must be like Connie. I mean, Connie, girl. Get-
Connie girl.
Doll,
Connie
kiddo,
girl.
you gotta get with it over here.
You and I have realized, though, it took me years to realize that I cannot take the jobs for the money because you have so many experiences working on set as an actor where you're working with other people who you know are there for the wrong reasons.
Mm.
You can feel they're there for the money or because they're teams that push them into it.
Mhm.
Those people are not a lovely energy to be around.
Mhm.
True.
So it's something that I'm very consciously aware of to never become myself. In order to do that, I just have to take the jobs that I'm passionate about, where I like the writing and the character, where it's in a city that I want to shoot in, with people I want to shoot in.
Mm.
It has come down to that for me. And that does involve saying no to a lot of things,
Right.
but I'm happier at the end of the day.
Constance, your managers must just really hate you.
No.
Your agents don't say, "Hon, listen, it's cute and everything, and you got your integrity. Great. I'm gonna put a gold star next to your name, but you got to take this job."
No, they did in the beginning, and I
Yeah.
think they would always question, like, "Oh, come on!" Like, actually, Entourage is a story where I fought with them. I did not want to go in on that show. It was their second season, and I didn't like it. I thought it
Mhm.
was incredibly male chauvinistic.
Mhm.
I always thought the women were
And-
represented super poorly.
I mean, it is.
They were
Mhm.
always naked. They were dumb. They were not
Mhm.
strong.
You're not
and
wrong.
I said, I don't want to go in. And
Mhm.
I fought, and they fought me on that one. And they said, you have to go in on this. This show is going to be huge.
Mhm.
Give it a chance. They're making changes. They know where they've lacked.
Mhm.
And you need to go in there and like be a part of that. And it was only for 3 episodes.
Mhm.
And they were like, it's 3 episodes. Who cares? Just go.
Mhm.
And so that was one of the incidences where they were right. But I ended up on it for 6 years.
Yeah.
And if you don't, expect a
Yeah.
hip hop Zumba. for you.
Hip hop Zuma, wannabe hip hop. I'll just keep changing the name. Just keep adding.
I love it. I love it. Well, Constance Zimmer and Jeffrey Bowyer-Chapman. Unreal starts 2018 for the third season. And they're actually, when this is on the air, they'll probably be in
back.
Vancouver doing the season 4 of Unreal. Until then, you guys have fantastic. You're just killing it over there.
Thanks for having us.
I
Ruth.
just
It's been
love
such
it.
A wonderful experience.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us. Michelle,
Yes.
until next time, my dear.
Yes, my darling.
Bye.
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 Can I get an amen? If you can't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else? Can I get an amen?
And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes.
If you can't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else?